All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. It's our final session of the week. And unfortunately, we got to take advantage of the day because there will not be any trading on Monday as we celebrate President's Day. So we'll give everyone just a couple more minutes and then we'll get going in this afternoon session. Not bad, to be honest, Brad. It is good to see that there are people anticipating the session. It does feel good. Yeah, I'm really grateful for the regulars who are chiming in and day out. A lot of you are on the feed both sessions, so I mean, I'm definitely grateful for the success of the channel coming from a lot of you. Yep. So I see nobody was trading during lunch. I think we left off right here on this candle because I saw it trading down and I thought we'd break down to here, and then it started buying up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And this candle right here closed right below the fair value gap. The last little second, it was a fair value gap that was right here. And then the next candle closed above it, so the fair value gap went away, and then it started selling. Um, we just had a sweep of liquidity. This is the area I thought it would trade into. I was pointing out, I said, let's see what happens when we get to half of this candle. Thank you, Wiki, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys so much. Ladies and gents, I saw this morning I crossed over and finally got to 4,700 subscribers. So that's another milestone. So I'm grateful for that as well. Dollar and NQ moving together. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's start there then. Let's start right here on a comparison chart. Okay, so this level I was waiting for dollar to lose. Looks like we got a close below, just slightly below, but we did get a close below. So we'll see how long it wants to buy in. If it's just short-lived, just the first couple minutes of the hour, and then we get a sell-off, or if it just trades in the zone and 104.263 just provides support, because it has right here. It provided support. It also provided support over here. So it's been a mainstay support-wise for quite some time. All right. Okay, nothing left as far as news today, so we're done. Let's get back over to the comparison. We'll just let it hang here for a minute or two. Last one. right? The Dow left equal highs. Wow. Two sets of equal highs in the same location. So we had these two that are on all three. And I thought this would be the target. And this is where we want to move. Go and take care of those highs. It came just short on consecutive hours and left equal highs just below it. So keep that in mind. There's no way these two sets of equal highs are going to last very long. I'm not saying we're going to get them today. It'd be nice to get them today. But no way they're going to sit there for a long time. All right, let's get back over to NQ. Oh, Brad, man, I'm glad you're here as well, man. This has definitely been something I didn't expect, but it's been very rewarding personally and also for my trading career. They were at lunch, Dustin. Hey, maybe they got their weekend started. Maybe they're taking a half a day. They have a long weekend. They're going to go in. I don't know. What would the market makers do in February? Go skiing? I'm not sure. Yeah, the New York high, man. I want that one too. 18,018. Let's see if we can't get up there. We're about 200 points away now, which is the only issue that we have. Not sure what this box is. Let me figure that out quickly so I can delete it if I don't need it. Okay, I think it was just a measurement of this candle. All right, let me drop that. All right, Queen, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and measure where we are as far as the retracement is concerned. All right, we just traded below 50%, rejected that level a bit. There we go. 50% matches the same 50% as this candle that I wanted to see it trade to. I adjusted my fib level as opposed to having it at the very, very high. I put it at the high of the highest closing candle. Hmm. Look at that breakdown. All right. That's interesting. 71% retracement gets me down to a level I'm looking at on the 15-minute. All right, so that's the next level. I want to see how price reacts. Is down around 765. It's a good 50 points from where we are now, so there's no telling. We may not even get down there. It's just as I look at a higher time frame, that's where I'm looking for a price to show itself and decide where it wants to go next. Right, it's already reached 50%, so at any time now, it could turn around and start to make its next move, and it could start expanding once again. So just keep that in mind. We also have a huge bullish fair value gap in the middle, which I'm looking for it to trade below. Seven 760. There you go, Brad. Yeah, that was a 100-point move this morning. That was the one. Retrace to a bearish breaker. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. 844 and okay, so 845. All right, let's see if it goes below the previous low. So deeper into the retracement. And remember, we just looked at it. It was maybe a couple ticks before 50%. So not quite 50%. 50% is at 802 flat. And I think it achieved a tick away. Yeah, 802 and a quarter. So I would count that as hitting 50%. But let's look and see if we get a deeper retracement into potentially 62. And remember, I have 71 marked up as my area. Hmm. Yeah, Queen, let me measure out this last leg on the 1 hour. I think it's the same as what we were looking at on this lower time frame. I just want to make sure. Okay, yep, sure is. Except on the 1 hour, it did already. Okay, 50% on the 1 hour is 804 and a half. So it beat it by just one tick. On the 1 hour, this candle here pierced through just barely. But we'll see if it wants a lower value. Maybe potentially 50% of the wick. Yep, you're right. No trading Monday. This is all we got until Tuesday this afternoon. Um, I mean, the London session will still operate. I just don't know how cooperative it's going to be and what the range is going to be. Yeah. Great. And another minute before, or about 40 seconds until the 3 minute closes. I'm looking at a little breaker block there on the 3 minute, but I'll wait for it to close to see if it's anything to talk about. Hmm. Ooh, look at that. As soon as the next 3 minute candle opened up, it took off. All right, I'll show you what I was looking at. I was looking at this right here. And you can see as soon as the next candle opened, it went from 825 and it did one of these 832s in 1 second. It was already 6 or 7 points up. So not really an entry there, anything you can do with. At least on this time frame, we had an order block entry. Let's get rid of this. We'll see if it can push through these fair value gaps or if this is just a retracement only to come and sweep some more lows. But it's okay. We're being cautious this afternoon. This is our last session until Tuesday, but we don't want to force anything. Yeah. Yep, I agree. Queen, that's why I didn't jump in a trade. Even if it was moving slower, I still wasn't going to jump in. I wanted to see more. But that was kind of a first start to say, all right, let me start digging deeper. uh, it's that indecisiveness that makes life fun. Oh, sorry, everyone. Sorry. I'm back in the game. Yeah, let's enjoy the weekend for sure. Yeah, if I remember, I might try to take a look at London session Sunday night since there's no trading Monday morning. Yeah, I think what would have made this more definitive for me is if this low wick was a bit higher. So this was a swing point. Because it's saying the low on this one is 14 and the low on this one is 14 and a quarter. Okay, so it was a swing point. It was just extremely, extremely tight. Okay. Let me just dump it back up just in case something happens out of it. I don't want to forget that I had it marked up, even though I didn't take an entry from it. Yeah, good job, Crab. Way to go. You and Lapta both ran up on the Dow. Good job. Jeez, look at that. Yeah, the Dow is still strong. But I was mentioning earlier, I said those equal highs from lunch and 11 o'clock hour, I don't think they're going to last very long. And the same as the equal highs from yesterday afternoon. All four of those levels are right at the same spot. So I can see all four of them being taken soon. All right, another minute and a half. We'll be at 1:30. All right, Laughter. See you on Tuesday. Thanks for joining and for recommending us to other traders. Appreciate you. Mm. Yeah, we got a little bit here that created this fair value gap, but yeah, we haven't gotten much. Okay, it is 1:30 now. Yes, Tommy, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification button because it'll let you know whenever it'll remind you 30 minutes before we come on. So make sure the notification is on if you're already subscribed, and it'll send you an invitation 30 minutes before. And when we go live, it'll send you another one and say, "Hey, he just went live." But I do. Agreed. Yep. Yeah. Even on the 4 hour, it looks pretty wicked. I think you said you saw it on the 1 hour, but even on the 4 hour, we got this fair value gap here that has a wick in it, and then we had a one above that has a wick in it, or it wicked up to it. So this 4 hour is what's creating the one above. 27 more minutes until this candle closes on this time frame. 61% retracement. Okay. We move up to the candle body. 83.5 is 717. This candle is as low as 717. All right, so from the candle body all the way up top, we made it to the 83.5% retracement. Let me just stretch it out so everyone can see. There we go. Maybe one tick below it, looks like one tick. All right. Here we are on the one hour. Our fair value gap is in right now inside of a larger 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Yeah, you're right. It is definitely the weaker of the three, so it's not driving at all. Right, Dow has turned bullish again, so let's see if those equal highs are in play relatively soon. All right, let's get back down to the 15-minute. We have the 1 hour in the bottom, the lower left corner. It's 90 to 660. Yeah. Okay, I see those small ones. Yep, I see what you're talking about. Mm. Yep. Yeah, and that may be. So we'll give it another 25 minutes till we get to 2 o'clock, and we'll see if price is a bit more definitive at that time. Okay, Dow still bullish, still pushing. Right, the level for Dow to sweep those equal highs is around 861, and it's currently trading at 849, so not far at all. I mean, for the Dow, that's one candle. Okay, another 5 minutes on this candle. We'll see if it closes in this fair value gap here. Okay, it looks like we are moving higher. We still need this candle to close in that gap. So far, it looks like that's what's happening. All right. Brad, I'm assuming you're able to get into the Discord by now. I just put in that unicorn PDF. I dropped it into the trading library section. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. And then the one time you say, I think it's going to go short, so let me just take a long since I'm always on the other side. And then that's the time that you're right. Let's see. It looks like that 3-minute breaker got to close above. We got to trade back by one tick here at 826. Fair value gap inside. Traded above the 9 EMA. Down and it touched it. Sweet. And 30 points later, here we are. All right, macro coming up in 30 seconds. And the Dow looks like it has now made triple highs. It got almost to taking those double highs and started to retrace on us. We'll take a peek when the hour closes in another 10 minutes. Ooh, actually. Okay, dollar finally lost that level, which is good. Dollar pushing low, getting ready to sweep a low from yesterday at 10 in the morning. Let's watch this on a lower time frame. Yeah. Okay, let me check that and see if I can make it discoverable. I don't even know how to do that, but I'm sure it's probably not that hard. Okay, Dow just now took all four of those equal highs, so those are now off the table. We've also right around 2 o'clock. So let me go ahead and throw up that comparison chart for everyone. Go ahead and frame up your next hour based on this. All right, so the far left, we have the dollar tearing through that level. Earlier, it was still buying up. It was creating that wick in the first half hour. And then we see the last half hour just sort of tore through that level, sort of the equal lows that was here, even taking out the low from Thursday. Let me see. I think it, no, actually, I think it equaled the low. 104, 182, 104, 182. Okay, so we got equal lows. So when we start a new hour, expect for that to be one of the first things that happen is that it makes a new low, which takes out these equal lows. That should spell bullish momentum for the others, even though they're already bullish. Hopefully that continues based on the dollar wanting to seek lower prices after this hour is up. All right, so this is where those equal highs, those set, and then this set, we had the Dow just run through it. It's already made a new high this hour in the first 2 seconds. Now we have a fair value gap that S&P needs to break through, and of course Nasdaq's been trailing behind all morning. Yep. All right, switch back over. Mm. I've just created 4 hour fair value, guys. Consequent approachment is 921. Okay. Yeah, that was the one I knew at the end of last hour. We would have a fair value gap, a bearish one, just depending on how well or how high the 1 o'clock candle ended up would determine the size of the fair value gap. Now we're going to trade into it and let's see what happens there. Yep. So that long we were in earlier just before lunch, and this is what we were hoping to get. We just got a consolidation and then it fell right back into the zone, actually lower than where we had entered. You get rid of this. Sure. Silver bullet time. Yep, Kendrick, this is silver bullet hour. Absolutely. Which indicators I'm using? Which I have a fair value gap indicator. FVG, Nephew Sam is what it's called. And at the current moment, that's the only indicator on my screen. So I don't know if you see something else or if you just, I mean, I have an EMA. There's EMA 9 that's on there. I'm not really doing anything with it, but it's on there. That's the line that you see going through the bars. So it's those two right now. That's pretty much it. Also, I'm sorry, NWOG, NDOG. So that's new week opening gap and new day opening gap by Kryptonite. And so those are the three indicators I'm using right now. Most of the indicators I use are just made to give me levels to watch out for, but not necessarily entry models. Silver bullet is just a continuation model. So first you're looking for a sweep of liquidity. You want to see, well, actually you don't need a sweep of liquidity. That's more the 2022 model. Continuation, what you're looking for is a retracement into a fair value gap during 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So it's a 1 hour time frame, and you're looking for some retracement into a fair value gap in the direction according to your bias, and you have a target somewhere that you can see. So you would have to identify a target. You'd have to create a bias saying, hey, I'm bullish. I want to go, I think it's going to go up to this high. And then you look for a retracement into a fair value gap that then leads you up to wherever you felt like it was going to go. In a lot of cases, what happens is the silver bullet is more of like this, where this is the retracement. You find a fair value gap that's down here, and your target is usually back to the high it just left. So it's something that's high probability. Because always going to the next level is lower probability, and then to returning to the level it just left. But now, since we started 2 o'clock at the very height here, your target would have to be somewhere else, unless you wait for a retracement down here, and then your target is right back to where it is right now. So those are just some examples. But right now, I'm not really looking for the silver bullet. There's a lot of different YouTubers who have videos on the silver bullet. So just go ahead and hit that in the search engine. One that I like to watch is a YouTuber named T Trades. So I'll just give you the name here, but if you search, you'll find many others who will do the same thing. No problem. No boundaries. No problem. Okay, we swept these highs. Usually when you sweep a high, you'll see some sort of retracement, at least back down to retest the level. So it's not far, but maybe we'll get 10, anywhere from 10 to 20 point retracement here. If we don't, it'll wait to the next level. So it'll wait until it gets up here, and then the retracement will happen. Let's get over to a 15-minute time frame. Okay. Do we have a market maker model here? Here on the 15. A 5-minute bullish breaker. Yeah. CG, the market is closed on Saturday, so we won't be able to trade tomorrow. And on Monday, Monday is it's a bank holiday here in the U.S., so the markets aren't open on Monday. So we will have to take off and resume on Tuesday morning. I think there's some activity during the London session on Monday, but it's going to be low volume because the American banks and institutions are not participating. So it's going to be low volume and it's going to close at the end of London session, which is US time, I believe, like 11 in the morning, 11 or maybe 12. Let me see, what's that level you asked for? 938. 938. Let's see what that is. Okay, on the 1 hour, I see a fair value gap at 928. Okay. All right. So I see what you're saying. So the bearish fair value gap on the 15-minute, wanted to close above that. If you can get a closure above it, the candle body is probably not that much of an obstacle. And then you only have a couple more candle highs to take out. Yeah, I think we had a couple people trade the Dow today. I know LAFTA was one that traded the Dow. And there was another person as well. I think the Dow traders are done. They they grab their money and they're done for the day. Yep. Oh yeah, Gavin. We were Ray and I were looking at levels on the Dow, which also has 938, but it's 38,938. I'll let yeah, we're doing well. Welcome back. 15-minute Civia on the left side. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. Not much happening right now. Small retracement. Get to a lower time frame just so we can all watch it. Thought it'd be okay to watch it from the 15, but price is moving a little slower than that. Bullish 875. Okay. Okay. Well, if you're bullish at 875, that would look like this. On a 1 to 2 trade would look just like this. So you would stop loss at 17 points and you take 35 as your TP. All right, Splash. We'll catch you on Tuesday. Take care. Yeah, yes, you're gonna have to be patient there. It hasn't made it there yet, and it's starting to show bullish again. So you're gonna have to be patient if you're waiting for 875. On a 2-minute clean breaker block. Okay. Appreciate that, Jay. All right, it's a second test here. So we broke out of this range at 2 o'clock, and so far for 30 minutes, we've held firm and held tight here. Let me check on where we are elsewhere. Okay, pretty similar on Dow. It started out the hour, went and took out those equal highs, um, ran up a little bit, but now retracing back down to its opening of the hour. But just like we saw at 130, 130 is when we saw price move. Maybe now it is 230. We'll see the same. Right? Here's 130 was this candle, and then it just took off from there. All right, we got triple lows here, equal lows, 3 of them. We'll see if we break through. able to get into this lower fair value gap. I know we at least have one subscriber looking for 875 level. $880 to $932. 880. Okay. That's where we are now. See if we close above this 50% mark here, and we just had a dip below, but we close above. Okay. Let's see what it does when it gets to 870, which is the level I have marked up. Mm-hmm. Explain what's going on. All right, let's see. Well, yes, let's see where we are. So here on the 15-minute, we were bullish. We saw prices pushing up, but you see this big pink area here. This is a bearish fair value gap, which is a place that we could find that where price could find resistance, which would then push for lower prices. Not necessarily that it pushes it all the way down, but it will need to trade back in. Well, let me move on as well with this explanation. So we had two things happen. First thing happened was we passed a swing high. So once you pass a swing high, we call that external range liquidity. So we just passed external range. And so then price, as after it passes an external range of liquidity, it will retrace and seek internal range, which is generally a fair value gap. We have one here and we have one here, right? It doesn't mean it's going to stop there, but that's going to be where it's going to look. We also, after passing this swing high, we hit a fair value gap, a bearish one, which was part of this big move down, right? So in this area of price action, there was a lot of selling happening, and there may still be some open orders that when price moves up, it gets sold down. Um, so in a nutshell, that's really what's happening right now. But there could be some other manipulation of other things built in, but that's really where we are. We pass external range liquidity, so we'll move back internal. And then a lot of times you see the expansion out. So you see another external range, and that's when you'll see price move up. But it generally doesn't just go up, up, up. It'll pull back. So that's where we are now. Let me look and see what else. What else can I say about price action right now? Mm, yeah, another thing also is you see the wick. You see it close below the fair value gap. If it closed inside of the fair value gap, then I have more belief that the following candle would also try to push higher. But once you get the failure to push out and close below, then the way I'm looking at price action is I'm looking for it to trade to a discount position, which is going to come in at below 50% of this leg. So not only will it retrace to a fair value gap, I'm looking forward to retrace to a discount position, which coincidentally has a fair value gap right here. So I'd be looking for in this area, what does price want to do? And that's if I'm just looking at the 15-minute time frame. You can go a little lower if you want, right? And there could have been other fair value gaps a little higher, but we still have a couple here. And that's really what's happening now. So I'll try to keep you up to date with what's happening or where price is moving. But sometimes it's not really doing a whole lot. Like we're in the same area that we was in during the lunch hour. So it basically just consolidated. We had a retracement and an expansion, and now it traded back into the consolidation zone. So because of that, it's just not a lot to talk about until it finds its footing and we see another expansion. And I'll put this back up for you so you can see when we get to our equilibrium point, and then we'll see how price reacts from there. Hey, Crab Nation, how long have you been trading? I know you just joined us yesterday or the day before, but mm, I can't remember exactly your trading profile. Oh, got it. Okay. No problem. No problem. All right. I know you were on yesterday when I made this. Um, yeah, here you go. I know you were in the room yesterday when I made this recommendation to watch this video, Crab, but I'm not sure if you saw it or not. If you didn't, this is definitely a good video to watch on market structure. I just discovered it the other day when Queen told me about it, and I found it very, very helpful. And I've been at it now for 3 years trading. So definitely check that out. Okay. uh, well, I don't know. I probably when we get more members, I'll create a premium section. Right now, it's just not enough. Of course, Brad. But yeah, I'm essentially doing that now for free. And so all the people who are on board now, if there ever becomes a premium section, you guys have gotten it all for free. Whereas maybe a year from now or whenever, future people will need to pay. Oh, Khaled, it happens, man. It happens. But take the lesson. If you called it perfectly and it worked out for you, um, whatever checklist you use or whatever insight you use to make that decision, note that and use that in the future. All right, so now we're in the discount. We've traded past 50%. There was a fair value gap here, traded past that as well. There was another one right here, also traded past it. We have one remaining right around 83%, and it's just above this 3-minute breaker. Let's go down on the 3-minute and watch this happen and see how it plays. See if that fair value gap does anything. Over here, we had by one tick, it tapped into the breaker. One tick. Now let's see what happens. Now it tapped in by a few more ticks, but it hit the fair value gap by one tick. All right, coming back in for more. Approaching consequent encroachment. All right, tapped. Didn't hold as well. None of this is holding. Solid. Look at that. All right, session lows have been swept. So this is our afternoon low. Gone. Let's get up to a higher time frame so we don't lose the candle. It's so big. All right, Brad, where you at? This was my level. I called this one. Sometimes laughing is better than crying. Oh, Gavin, sorry, man. Jeez. All right, Dustin, good job. All right, this is, where is it? All right, Crab, what we just had here, since you're new. No, actually nothing. Sorry about that. Spoke too soon. On this time frame, we've always been bearish and we're still bearish because we haven't taken over the midnight open today. So we've been bearish on a 15-minute all morning. $18.26. Oh, crap. You got 300 euros. You could have got 3,000 euros or something crazy. All right. Well, I didn't take a look at Dow. Did you trade Dow? Okay. All right, Hudson. Well, sometimes we get lucky. 750. Is that what you're looking for, Brad? Okay. I have 765 and you have 750. Okay. 750 has been, if we look at yesterday, well, sorry, that's this morning. Yeah, this morning we had all candle body closures above the 50% mark here at 750. All candle bodies above this morning. And then yesterday, all right, yesterday, once it was confirmed, which was here, it traded back into it and all candle bodies were inside. Oh, okay. Queen, I didn't realize you were in on that short. Good job. All right, let's go up to the higher time frame there. Remember, this breaker is from the 1 hour. This fair value gap is from the 15-minute. Okay. So 690. Yep. So here on the 15-minute, you can see all the bullish fair value gaps left over from yesterday, from the afternoon movement. And so that's what Queen is talking about, is that potentially we're going to trade into one of these consequent encroachment, which is for the new people, that's 50% of a block. So that would mean trading below what we see the blue box as the order block. So we'll just keep our eyes open for that and see how far price wants to trade down. Mhm. All right, I'm going to leave it here at the 1 minute for the first 5 minutes of the next hour. We're closing in on the end of 2 o'clock. So we have power hour up in front of us. And as I mentioned, I'll leave it on 1 minute until about five after three. And then I'll change it to either 5 or the 15 minute, just depending on what things look like. Trying to tight scalp off of the 30-second chart. All right, that didn't work. That does it for me. Don't think I'll try anything else today, but we'll see. We'll see if something presents itself. All right, couple more minutes before we move back up to the higher time frame. See if we get a sweep of this low down to this orange level I have highlighted, down at roughly 765. Lorenzo, yes, that's what I'm using. And yeah, I've seen Dane trades ICT 2022. I mean, it's he scaled it down pretty much. He broke it down into 3 videos. So it's not 100% the whole ICT model, but no, it's a good one, and it'll help you get all the basics and all the main points that you need, which is within just those 3 videos. So you have a pretty good foundation. And yes, that's generally what I'm using is the unicorn. The 2022 doesn't have to be the unicorn. The unicorn is technically part of the 2022, but it doesn't have to have a breaker with the fair value gap inside the breaker. Sometimes the fair value gap is above the breaker, which is what the 2022 model is. I go by structure. I go by structure to put in my stop loss. So I was looking at the 30 seconds. So I looked over to see what the number was, and then I came back over to the 1 minute chart, which is where the trade was being taking place, and then put in the stop loss there. Okay. Yeah, I'll check that one out, especially since we have a long weekend. Make it a lot easier to do. Trader Tim, yeah, I wrote it down this morning to check out his channel to see which videos he has. Strange ICT, the ones that you recommended were really, really helpful. I like those. Right. So we passed the 5 minute. Let me go and see what the 5 minute looks like. Now that we're a few minutes into 3 o'clock. All right. Let's see if we get the sweep of that low, and then let's see how price reacts after that. Yeah, when it's out and running, that's when the 3 violated PDAs are. When I use those. I'll either use the 3 PDA loss, or I'll take the last fair value gap that it traded to, and stop loss as if I entered on that fair value gap, even though I didn't. Yeah, for sure. Probably half of the things you study don't help, but you don't know that until you studied it. And that's why the trading journey is a long one. You pick up good tips along the way with other traders, which is another benefit of having other traders around. As long as you don't strategy hop too much, I think finding other traders to trade with is definitely what helps move the needle for you and helps to get you up to speed really quickly. I mean, I can only imagine what it took to become a good trader prior to having YouTube. All right, is this the sweep of liquidity? Let's make it a little, it's the 15 better. The unicorn, yeah, the unicorn is so far it's the most reliable setup that I've seen. Yeah, I gave up on price action yesterday, and the 350 price just went to the moon. Yeah, I'm looking at all the higher time frames, and they are all definitely saying that price is going to drop, or at least it's looking that way. Like we can go back and retest 17,700. Brad, where you at? Yeah, I know you're salivating for 750. Oh, well, yeah, definitely, Brad. Sit this one out. Don't even demo it because it might mess up your psyche. Just sit this one out. It's late in the day. It's Friday. There's no trading on Monday. Definitely, Brad, man. Glad you're here. And congratulations on today. Uh, no, there was quite a few people called the short that's about a half hour ago, a little bit longer. All right, we're halfway through this 5 minute candle. We got another 2.5 minutes. Let's see where this candle lands. So far, it's already traded into the wick of the previous candle, and it's been holding its position firm, but not making a lot of progress. So let's see where it closes at. Oh, we can drop this. It's already swept liquidity. It can either continue or we'll see. All right. All right, Shark. Yeah, I knew that's who you were. I remember. Mm. Yeah, we'll see if that 315 to 345 macro runs us to the midnight open like it often does. All right, let's see if it pushes above this bullish fair value gap that it's inside of. It's been trading inside this entire hour and just before. Forty more seconds. Let's see if it closes above. First, we need to push above, but let's see if it can do that and close. Going to completely close in what could have been a fair value gap. It's still early. I'm waiting for 17,798 to be taken, these equal highs. Waiting for these two equal highs to be swept. Yep. Yeah, Shark. Yeah, our next session will be Tuesday morning. All right. Still consolidating, sitting around in the range. We're now approaching 3:30, so we have about a half hour left on trading. If you are a prop firm trader, you know you have to be finished by 10 after 4. So you got a little over 40 minutes to, if you're in a trade, to close out your position, or if you haven't entered, to enter and exit. Mm-mm-mm. Look at the range on this candle. Did it trade to 50%? It sure did. Last 9 seconds of the candle. Look, it's pushing downwards, and we'll see where it lands in another couple seconds. Okay, it's going to go ahead and test those equal highs again, which is butted up right against a bearish fair value gap, which is holding price down. All right, Brad. Check you out on Tuesday. Congrats again on your wins today, and yeah, once again, thanks for being here. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, no, I was looking at this and on all time frames, even if you see a little bit of progress, you don't see fair value gaps or anything. So it's just it's bouncing around without giving you anything. There we go. All right, pushing lower. So the equal highs are going to remain, at least for now. Mm. All right, I promise I won't bail on you today. I'll stay here until 4 o'clock, just in case something crazy happens at the end. We won't miss it. Uh, I'm not expecting really anything. It just depends. If it does give me some sort of signal, Prakash, or I think it's yes, no, Prashant. Sorry, Prashant. Um, no, it would. It first needs to give me a signal that it's going to go up. So for now, I'm not believing it's going to go up because it's not showing that it's willing to do that. I'm hoping it does because we have a nice area here that it could run up in for the final 15 minutes. It doesn't even have to run all the way up. It could just come up into this area somewhere, but at least give us 30 or 40 points to trade for. Um, but right now, it's not doing much of anything. Right. So for now, this is the range that it's in. All right. It's traded down to 61% once. It's not making higher highs or anything, so we could see a sweep of a low. But for now, yeah, we're just waiting. We'll wait for about another 10 minutes and see where it is then. And then we'll gear up for the final 10 minutes where sometimes there are some fireworks similar to yesterday. If you were watching the charts yesterday at 350, you'll see that it just did everything it was supposed to do. As a matter of fact, that was what we were hoping it would do at around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then waited until 350. Okay, nice. Now it looks like it might want to show its hand and show what it wants to do. Yeah, still bearish right now, and like you say, range bound. So it's in both. Yeah, the thing is, it could have shifted here, but it didn't want to. See, you got really close to it, but looks like it's going to come and sweep the low and potentially go lower. It's already done it on the 1 and 3 minute. Okay, there we go. Right, 4 hour fair value gap at 742. Another 2.5 minutes and we'll have the candle closure. Mm-mm-mm. Right, pushing further south now. This level has held for a better part of 2 days now. All right, final minute. Now let's just peek at the 15-minute while we're here. All right, final 15 minutes of today's session. Final 15 minutes. Let's get down to a lower time frame and see what today brings, how we close out. All right, let's watch the 1 minute until we close out today. Just see how it compares to the last hour consolidation we've been watching. We'll just see how the last 15 candles print. Sorry about that. Hmm. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Shark. Yeah, everyone, everyone in the Discord. Shark has been definitely leading, leading the charge on keeping everything organized and welcoming everyone in and starting up the conversations and things. So really do appreciate his effort in getting that to a more mature state, and also making sure that everyone feels welcome and heard in the Discord. Yeah, Shark, I need to look into it this weekend. We have a few members that are having issues logging in. For whatever reason, it's telling them that they are unable to get into the Discord for the invitation's not working. So I need to look into that. Probably look into some tutorials this weekend on how to properly set up a Discord. Maybe I didn't do it correctly. But anyone who's having trouble getting in, just bear with me. I'll try to get that fixed this weekend. Man, I tell you. I just took a short in my demo. It ran $500 in no time. I closed it out of disgust. All right, final 10 minutes is upon us. Let's see if we get some fireworks here. All right. I tell you what, since there's no stream on Monday, you got me till 4:15 today. We'll stay until all the prop firms have closed off their trading activities, and it looks like everything is tailed off. So you got me for an extra 15 minutes today. And in the meantime, while we're watching this, seems like we do have some new traders in the room. And by new traders, not new to the stream, but just new to the trading discipline. And so you probably have plenty of questions. So since we're going to stay on for a few extra minutes, go ahead and throw out any questions you got so we can address them before we head into the weekend. Khalid, when you say high probability that it's going to sweep the low, what do you mean? Um, you're saying this low right here? Okay, so the logic here, sweeping lows or highs or any sweep, when we say liquidity sweep, the logic there is, so if you are a broker, um, they make money by sweeping your stop loss, right? So they know that when people buy, they put their stop loss right here. So they entice you to go for a buy by sending price up for a couple candles. You enter a long, you put your stop loss right here, and then they crash down and take all of you out of the trade. So that's the logic for sweeping lows and sweeping highs. That's also the logic for the market putting equal lows there. Or when you see what we call trend line liquidity, when all the highs are respected all the way down the line, right? When you have something like this, every time price moves lower, people take their stop loss from here, and then they'll take their stop from here and they'll move it here. So sweeping this high is to take people out of the trade who are short and they're having a great trade, but they want to make sure they secure as many funds as possible so they keep moving their stop loss. So what price will do is it'll do something like this, right? Break this low. So now people enter shorts. Then it'll run up here and take the people who are already in shorts out. The people who just got in down here, they'll get taken out. And then price will resume the direction it was going. Yes, absolutely. A lot of orders. A lot of orders. And that's all it does all day long is it just moves from wherever the orders are from one place to the next place and back and forth. And along the way, instead it needs to manipulate a little bit so it doesn't tip its hand, because then everybody will be on side and will reap the gains. So it needs to manipulate back and forth, fake out, turtle soup, all those things, just to make sure that there's enough liquidity in both locations. Or if there's not enough buyers and it's all sellers, it'll somehow induce buyers to get into the market. So then it can go and take orders. So when you lose a trade, that's exactly what the market wanted you to do. So don't feel bad about it. It tricked you into it because it was made to do that. And the skill in trading comes from recognizing that and not being part of liquidity. I didn't have an A plus entry in this time frame, Frank. Sorry about that. I didn't have one. There was a big short that happened about 45 minutes ago, and I wasn't in on that trade. Yep. The one that came from all the way up here. I wasn't in on that. I wasn't in on the short this morning either. So yeah, I didn't have an A plus set up today. Mhm. In hindsight, let's see. In hindsight, hmm. Mm-mm-mm. In this time frame, let me see if I can find something on higher time frame or maybe even lower. Mm. Probably here, Frank. Yeah, I still have this one marked up here. And this was the midnight open, and this is when price fell just before the opening bell. Right, we had a breaker created here, where it traded above and then closed out below. And then the following candle came back and traded in, and then it fell out. So that was probably the best entry of the day right there, Frank. It would have been one of those where, see, the one I'm telling you that it traded back in between 9:25 and 9:30. So in order to catch this, you would have had to been somebody who's confident trading right at the opening bell at 9:30. That's not something that I'm comfortable doing. Um, I would have to be in before like 8:30 before I take if I was going to stay into a 9:30 trade. Um, so the perfect entry or the best entry was right at 9:30. But that's probably the best entry today. Trying to think, there's something that happened here that we could have caught other than just we had a sweep of a high, and then immediately afterwards, price started to fail. So you have this kind of like a fake out or like a turtle soup. Generally, when this happens, you usually have a run to the lows. So from there, you could have predicted that price would have likely come here. I don't think anybody knew it was going to come down here. But those are probably the two big entries for today. Yep. All right, let's get back down. We got another 15 minutes left. Still trading inside of this range. Got a bullish fair value gap. I know you can't see it because of the colors. Let me. There we go. There's a 15-minute SIBI. Okay, Ray. Let's find that 15-minute SIBI then. Okay, yep. So when liquidity was swept here after lunch, 2 o'clock, we also hit a 15-minute bearish fair value gap from the big move down this morning. And price just wasn't able to penetrate much into there. And so when you had a failure on the next candle, again, when I say when you get the failure, that's when you then have the retrace back down to the beginning of the leg. So probably had a pretty good idea it was going to come down to here around the 8:15 mark or so. Um, it continued down back to the entry on yesterday afternoon, which was interesting. Yesterday afternoon as well as this morning. This is also where it stopped this morning from 10 o'clock or so. All right, we got a little checkerboard here. Every other candle. Even on 3 minute. All right, let's measure out this range. Okay, so we're in discount now. It's pushing lower. It sure is. Yep. Hey, Frank, how good are you with market structure? Are you good at recognizing market structure just yet? Okay. So what happened, Frank, is we had been bullish on nearly every time frame, and overnight, there started to be a slowdown, and then we had news announced this morning, and the news event this morning sent price lower. And so what happened was on the 15-minute and some of the other time frames, we had the bullish sentiment switch over to bearish sentiment, and that never really flipped all day because the bullish movement was so strong. That flipping back to, I'm sorry, the bearish movement was so strong this morning, um, even after the opening bell through just after 10 o'clock, so maybe around 10:15 is when it stopped. But that bullish, I mean, the bearish movement was so strong that to flip back bullish, it needed to clear the midnight open, which it was unable to do all day long. And so it never flipped back bullish. Even when we saw price start to build up before lunch, it was still bearish. It was just a retracement. So it wasn't like it was a bullish leg that was going to drive price back up to its high. It looked like it potentially could, but there was always the risk that it was just trading to a fair value gap that was left behind, and then it was going to continue lower. And that's what actually happened. So it's a lot of things that price action will do to manipulate you and to lean you to the direction they want you to lean to. Um, and you just gotta keep to your discipline and not do that. And no problem. All right, we've got a couple minutes left. Another 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see how price goes. Hmm. Where's the All right, I think it's still sitting in the dead center of this range here. Okay, now slightly in discount, but all right, there it is. Prop firms closed accounts now. It's 4:10. So that would have been the end of everyone's trade if you're in one. Let's now see what the market does after they know prop firm traders are out of the trade. All right, Shark. Talk to you on Tuesday. You're on a prop firm and still trading. All right. When does your prop firm stop? When do they close you out? No, on Monday, so the charts will still start moving. So Sunday at 1800, the charts will turn back on and you'll start seeing candles move. You'll even see the London session open up at New York time, 2 in the morning, and everything will be just normal. It'll just be low volume because none of the American institutions will be participating. And then when you get around to the New York Open, it'll still just be London traders out there. So just keep that in mind. But I mean, the charts will be working until probably 11:30 or 12 o'clock, and then they'll stop. And then they'll reopen at 1800 and it'll be just normal. Yeah. Yeah, the charts it'll be working. I'm just telling you, it's going to be low volume, so it might not be a lot of movement. You might have a small range of 60, 70 points for the whole day. It'll just go back and forth. Well, I guess we'll find out on Monday. But yeah, the charts they work. So if you want to trade Monday, you can. You just gotta finish up pretty early. All right. Any final questions or comments before we head off and start a long weekend? Yep. Definitely. It's always fun. It's more fun when we win, but it's always fun. All right, everyone. So we're in the final minute of our stream this afternoon. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button if you're brand new. But if you've been here for a while, you already know the drill. Just hit the like button on your way out. Have a fantastic weekend. Back test if you can. Watch some tutorial videos if you can. I'll post a few things in the Discord, so if you have access to that, go ahead and jump in there. I'll do my normal Sunday sort of weekly outlooks, like I did last. I've been doing it for the past 3 weeks in the Discord. I post them in there. I'm not sure if any of you guys are catching them, or if it means anything for you, but I'll keep throwing them in there. Hopefully you're finding value with that, and yeah, it's been a good week. Got another week coming up that should be interesting. Let me see if I can pull up the calendar. All right, my computer seems to not want to cooperate right now, so it's not going to let me do that. But anyway, it's been a great week. Thank you guys for being here. Cheers, everyone. See you next time.